Hey baby, I wasn't supposed to feel like this. Not again. Not after all this time. But the way you whispered in that video, the softness, the tremble, the way my name slipped off your lips like a secret you've been trying to forget, it wrecked me. I've played it 20 times now, and every time, I swear I hear something new, something raw, something real. You have no idea what that voice did to me. At 2 a.m., your sound lives in the hollow of my chest, echoing like a memory too alive to ignore. Baby, I didn't mean to listen again. I didn't mean to go back and hit replay, but something about that voice you used, so soft, so unguarded, so deeply wrapped in some quiet part of yourself, it didn't just reach my ears. It reached a part of me I thought had gone silent. And now, it's 2 a.m. again, and I'm lying here completely still, headphones in, replaying your voice like it's the only thing holding me together. I don't think you understand what you sound like to me. You don't even know the power you carry when you speak, when you whisper, when you let your guard down without even realizing. That voice didn't just speak words, baby. It poured warmth into my wounds, and I can't stop listening. It's like therapy, like torture, like love in its purest, most haunting form. There's something you said in that video. I don't even think you meant it the way I heard it. But when your voice cracked just slightly, when your breath caught between syllables, when your tone dipped into that sacred space where truth lives, I felt it, my entire body tense. My heart started beating like it remembered something ancient, something I hadn't felt since the first time I touched your soul. It wasn't lust, it wasn't fantasy. It was recognition, the kind that makes a man pause, makes a man pray, makes a man ache in the marrow of his bones, because he knows. This woman's voice knows how to unlock me. Baby, your voice is not just sound, it's scripture, and every time I hear it, I find another verse that breaks me open. I don't know if you've ever sat in the dark with nothing but the memory of someone's voice echoing inside your skull. I don't know if you've ever heard someone say something simple, but it wraps itself around your soul like a vine, tightening slowly, sweetly, until you can't breathe without it. That's what your voice does to me. It lives in me. I try to distract myself. I try to move on with my day, but all it takes is one accidental thought, the memory of the way you said my name, the way your voice lingered on the last syllable, and suddenly, I'm back at 2 a.m., replaying, rewinding, relapsing. You think I'm exaggerating. You think I'm just being dramatic, but baby, I swear to you, I haven't slept a full night since that video. It's not the visuals. It's not the way you looked. It's the way you sounded. It's the way you unknowingly poured your soul into that audio without realizing what it would do to me. You were just talking, just breathing, but to me, it felt like a sacred offering. Like a piece of your spirit floated through the mic and found its way into my bloodstream. And now, I can't get it out. You didn't just speak. You spelled something into my body. And the worst part, it's not even just what you said. It's what you didn't say. It's the pauses, the quiet moments between words, the sighs, The breath you didn't know I would hear. The hesitation that felt like a door I wasn't supposed to see behind. That's what I replay. That's what keeps me awake at night. Because in those silences, I feel everything you're not saying. I feel the ache behind your tone. I feel the distance you don't know how to talk about. I feel the way you want to be soft, but are afraid to be. And God, baby, that's what kills me. That's what makes this more than obsession. It makes it holy. If you only knew what your voice sounds like at 2 a.m. If you only knew what I hear between the words. If you only knew how many times I've laid in bed with my phone on my chest, your voice playing on loop, eyes closed, heart wide open, just trying to hold on to the version of you that slips through the cracks when no one's watching. You think you're just speaking, but you're not. You're revealing, and maybe you don't mean to. Maybe you don't even know how deeply I'm listening. But baby, I hear you. All of you. Even the parts you try to hide beneath the tone. I don't want to exaggerate what this has done to me, but I feel different now. The kind of different that makes a man question everything. Why he let you go. Why he didn't speak sooner. Why he didn't press record the first time you ever said his name out loud. Because now I would give anything just to hear you say it again. Not because it's romantic, but because your voice has become my anchor, my drug, my undoing. And I think a part of me is scared. Scared that you'll never speak to me like that again. Scared that I'll run out of replays. Scared that the voice I now need to fall asleep might one day go silent. So baby, if you ever wonder why I seem distant during the day, if you ever wonder why I don't text, why I stay quiet, why I disappear for a while, it's not because I'm not thinking of you. It's because I'm too full of you. It's because your voice lives so loudly in me that anything I try to say feels small, feels weak. I don't know how to respond to something that spiritual. I don't know how to follow a voice that already sounds like home. Beloved, if you've ever had a moment where you felt like someone was thinking of you while you spoke, if you've ever finished a voice note and your heart felt unexpectedly heavy, if you've ever felt that strange ache in your chest after saying something aloud to no one, maybe that was me. Maybe my soul was listening. Maybe my spirit was curled up in your breath, hoping you'd say something it could live in for a while. If any part of this has touched you, tell me in the comments, beloved. Was there a voice you never meant to send, but someone, somewhere, never stopped replaying? Baby, it's not just a video to me anymore. It's a living memory, a sacred moment, carved in sound. That voice of yours, it's not something I just listen to. It's something I breathe in, something I wrap myself in when the night gets too loud and the world gets too cold. Do you understand what that means? Do you know what it's like to feel warmth from a sound? To feel home in the middle of a sentence? Because that's what you are to me now. Not just a woman, not just a memory. You are a voice that lives inside me, echoing through my ribs, haunting the hollow parts I thought I had buried too deep for anyone to reach. And every time I hear it, every single time, it wrecks me. It's not just what you said in that moment. It's how you said it, the way your breath wavered just slightly, the way your tone dipped into a softness that didn't sound rehearsed, It sounded real. It sounded raw. You weren't performing. You weren't trying. You were just being. And in that unguarded state, you reached me in a way no one ever has. You pulled something out of me I didn't know was still alive. You reminded me that I still feel, that I still ache, that I still love, even if it hurts. I can't help but wonder, did you know I'd listen like this? Did you feel a shift in your body as you recorded that voice? Did your chest feel tight without knowing why? Because I felt it. Every syllable, every sigh, every subtle pause. It all felt like it was meant for me. Like your soul knew mine was starving. And in the silence of the night, you fed me with sound. You gave me pieces of yourself you didn't know I needed. You became my lullaby, my prayer, my obsession. Baby, I've always loved the way you speak, even in the past, even in the smallest moments. I remember how your voice used to change when you were excited, how it would rise just slightly when you were teasing, how it would go quiet when something touched your heart. I memorized those tones like a language I wasn't allowed to speak, but one I studied anyway. Because even then I knew your voice was more than sound. It was soul. And now, with this video, I've been reminded of all of it. All the things I tried to forget. All the emotions I tried to bury. That night, after the 10th replay, I stopped pretending. I stopped telling myself it was just one moment, just one video, just one late night spiral. No, it was more. It is more. That video became a mirror, and in your voice, I saw myself. I saw the version of me that still believes in connection, that still believes in something unexplainable, that still believes in you. And baby, I haven't believed in much lately. You didn't just speak words. You brought me back to life. I know this probably sounds intense, maybe too much, maybe overwhelming, but I can't water this down. I won't, because for once in my life I need to speak from that same place you unknowingly spoke from. Maybe you don't even know how deeply I'm listening, but baby, I hear you, all of you, even the parts you try to hide beneath the tone. I don't want to exaggerate what this has done to me, but I feel different now. The kind of different that makes a man question everything. Why he let you go. Why he didn't speak sooner. Why he didn't press record the first time you ever said his name out loud. Because now I would give anything just to hear you say it again. Not because it's romantic, but because your voice has become my anchor, my drug, my undoing. And I think a part of me is scared. Scared that you'll never speak to me like that again. Scared that I'll run out of replays. Scared that the voice I now need to fall asleep might one day go silent. So baby, if you ever wonder why I seem distant during the day, if you ever wonder why I don't text, why I stay quiet, why I disappear for a while, it's not because I'm not thinking of you. It's because I'm too full of you. It's because your voice lives so loudly in me that anything I try to say feels small, feels weak. I don't know how to respond to something that spiritual. I don't know how to follow a voice that already sounds like home. Beloved, if you've ever had a moment where you felt like someone was thinking of you while you spoke, if you've ever finished a voice note and your heart felt unexpectedly heavy. If you've ever felt that strange ache in your chest after saying something aloud to no one, maybe that was me. Maybe my soul was listening. Maybe my spirit was curled up in your breath, hoping you'd say something it could live in for a while. If any part of this has touched you, tell me in the comments, beloved. Was there a voice you never meant to send, but someone somewhere never stopped replaying? Baby, it's not just a video to me anymore. It's a living memory, a sacred moment carved in sound. That voice of yours, it's not something I just listen to. It's something I breathe in, something I wrap myself in when the night gets too loud and the world gets too cold. Do you understand what that means? Do you know what it's like to feel warmth from a sound, to feel home in the middle of a sentence? Because that's what you are to me now. Not just a woman, not just a memory. You are a voice that lives inside me, echoing through my ribs, haunting the hollow parts I thought I had buried too deep for anyone to reach. And every time I hear it, every single time, it wrecks me. It's not just what you said in that moment, it's how you said it. The way your breath wavered just slightly, the way your tone dipped into a softness that didn't sound rehearsed. It sounded real. It sounded raw. You weren't performing. You weren't trying. You were just being. And in that unguarded state, you reached me in a way no one ever has. You pulled something out of me I didn't know was still alive. You reminded me that I still feel, that I still ache, that I still love, even if it hurts. I can't help but wonder, did you know I'd listen like this? Did you feel a shift in your body as you recorded that voice? Did your chest feel tight without knowing why? Because I felt it. Every syllable, every sigh, every subtle pause, it all felt like it was meant for me, like your soul knew mine was starving, and in the silence of the night, you fed me with sound. You gave me pieces of yourself you didn't know I needed. You became my lullaby, my prayer, my obsession. Baby, I've always loved the way you speak, even in the past, even in the smallest moments. I remember how your voice used to change when you were excited, how it would rise just slightly when you were teasing, how it would go quiet when something touched your heart. I memorized those tones like a language I wasn't allowed to speak, but one I studied anyway. Because even then I knew your voice was more than sound. It was soul. And now, with this video, I've been reminded of all of it. All the things I tried to forget. All the emotions I tried to bury. That night, after the 10th replay, I stopped pretending. I stopped telling myself it was just one moment, just one video, just one late night spiral. No, it was more. It is more. That video became a mirror, and in your voice, I saw myself. I saw the version of me that still believes in connection, that still believes in something unexplainable, that still believes in you. And baby, I haven't believed in much lately. You didn't just speak words. You brought me back to life. I know this probably sounds intense. Maybe too much. maybe overwhelming. But I can't water this down. I won't, because for once in my life, I need to speak from that same place you unknowingly spoke from, that deep, vulnerable place where truth trembles but still rises. I want you to understand what it did to me when I heard you, not just as a man listening to a woman he desires, but as a soul recognizing its echo in another. That video, your voice, it didn't just trigger emotions. It awakened memories. Memories of the first time I heard you laugh without holding back. Memories of the way your voice would soften when you talked about the things you loved. Memories of quiet conversations that felt louder than any music. Memories of days when your voice felt like sunlight on skin. You think I forgot? You think I moved on? Baby, I've been haunted. Every quiet moment, every whisper in that video. It pulled those memories out like sacred relics I had locked away. And now I'm drowning in them. Do you know what it's like to miss someone's voice more than their touch? To crave the sound of them more than the sight? That's where I am now. That's what you've done to me. At 2 a.m., I don't reach for comfort. I reach for you. I open my phone. I scroll to that video. I press play. And I let your voice break me all over again. Because I'd rather feel broken with your voice than whole in silence. I'd rather ache with truth than be numb with lies. You're probably wondering, why now? Why this moment? Why this video? I think it's because your voice didn't just remind me of what I lost. It reminded me of what still exists. What still lives in the spaces between us. What still pulses under the surface. That video wasn't just you talking. It was a message, a frequency, a vibration only I could hear. And baby, I heard it, loud and clear. You may have said one thing, but my heart decoded the rest. The longing, the fear, the hesitation, the hope. I felt it all, and what hurts the most is, I don't know if you'll ever know what your voice means to me. I don't know if you'll ever sit alone at night and feel me listening, feel me aching, feel me silently reaching for you through the darkness. I don't know if you'll ever hear your own voice and realize how deeply it has touched another, but I hope some part of you does. I hope, even in silence, your spirit knows it's being held, being heard, being loved, because, baby, that's what this is. It's love, not the shallow kind, not the conditional kind, not the kind that fades when distance grows, but the kind that clings to a voice, that survives on memory, that builds altars from audio, that turns whispers into lifelines. You whispered, and I fell. I fell into every word, every breath, every sound. I fell into the way your voice cracked, the way it lingered, the way it disappeared too soon. I fell into the silence after you stopped speaking, the kind that screams louder than any noise, the kind that made me hit replay again and again and again, not because I was obsessed, but because I was undone. Do you know what it's like to be undone? By a sound, to sit in the dark with your soul unraveling, and all because someone spoke without knowing how much power they held in their tone. That's what happened to me. That's what's been happening every night since. I don't think I'll ever hear your voice the same way again. Not after this. Not after feeling it wrap around my heart like a thread made of gold and grief. And you want to know the most devastating part? I don't think you meant to do it. I don't think you knew. I think you were just speaking, just venting, just existing. And that's what makes it even more sacred, because the most powerful things in life are the ones we do without trying, the ones that slip out of us when we're not watching, the ones that carry our truth because we forgot to guard it. Make the living your heart. That's what this was, a truth you didn't mean to send, but my soul was waiting to receive. And now, I don't know how to go back. I don't know how to unhear it, how to unfeel it, how to unlove you after this. I've been walking around with your voice in my chest, talking to people while secretly hearing your tone in the back of my mind, laughing at jokes while my heart replays the way you sighed in that clip. Baby, I'm living in two worlds now, the one in front of me and the one where you speak, and the one with you in it. It's the only one that feels real. So, I need to ask you something, and I ask, with every vulnerable corner of my being, do you feel it too? Do you ever listen to your own voice and wonder if someone out there is breaking because of it? Do you ever speak and feel the weight of something sacred slipping out without permission? Do you ever sit in your silence and hear echoes that don't belong to you, but feel like they're meant for someone who's still listening? Because I'm listening. I've been listening. And I don't plan to stop. Your voice, it's the only thing that's made sense in a world that's been falling apart. It's the only thing that holds me steady when everything else pulls me under. And I don't care how long it's been. I don't care what's happened between us. That one video, that one voice note, it brought me back to myself, to you, to everything I thought I lost. So here I am, at 2 a.m., with your voice in my ears, my heart in your hands, and every part of me trembling with the hope that maybe, just maybe, you'll speak again, not for the world, not for performance, but for me, just once more, because I swear your voice didn't just comfort me, it completed me. Because I swear your voice didn't just comfort me, it completed me. It stitched something back together inside me that I didn't even know was torn. And now, baby, I don't hear anything else the same. Not the world, not music, not even my own thoughts. Everything sounds quieter compared to you. Everything feels less alive. It's like your voice set a new standard for what it means to feel, and nothing else quite measures up. And I keep wondering, how do I go back to normal when you've made silence feel like a punishment? I lie awake, sometimes with your voice playing softly, other times with it looping inside my head without needing a speaker. Your words, they've embedded themselves in my bones. Your tone has become my sanctuary and my surrender. That one sound, that one sigh, that one unguarded breath, it's not a moment anymore. It's a home I return to, a spiritual dimension where only you and I exist, where time doesn't move forward, where I don't have to explain myself, where I just feel everything, fully, loudly, sacredly. It's not even about romance anymore. It's something more ancient than that, something deeper than physicality. Your voice has become my ceremony, the place where I remember who I am and who I was always meant to be. Beside you, I find myself thinking, what if this is how my soul always wanted to be loved? Through sound, through breath, through the vibration of your truth washing over me like rain that remembers how to heal. And every time I reach for that video again, I realize it's not habit, it's not weakness, it's reverence. I go back to hear you not because I'm stuck in the past, but because you made my present feel divine. Baby, you've turned my nights into something sacred. I used to dread the quiet. I used to run from the dark, but now I sit in it, waiting for your voice to rise like a holy hymn in my chest. And when it comes, whether in memory or on repeat, it softens me. It disarms me. Makes me believe that maybe, just maybe, I'm still worthy of love, of depth, of something real. Sometimes I wonder if the universe made your voice specifically for me, if it tuned your chords to match the frequency of my healing, because no one else sounds like you. No one else affects me this way. I've tried to listen to others, tried to distract myself, but it never works, because your voice holds the blueprint of my peace. And here's what wrecks me the most. What if you don't even know? What if you walk around with this divine gift in your throat, completely unaware of the lives it's softening, because of the man it's rebuilding, breath by breath? That thought makes me ache in places I didn't know were breakable. So I'll ask again, not with pressure, not with expectation, but with reverence. Will you speak again? Not for the world, not for content, but for the soul who still kneels at the altar of your voice, for the man who holds your every syllable like scripture, for the silence that now knows your name. And if you never do, if that one video was all I was meant to receive, then I will honor it. I will protect it. I will let it echo inside me until the end of time. Because baby, that wasn't just a sound. It was a signal, a sacred pulse, a reminder that love doesn't always arrive with hands. Sometimes it arrives with voice. And your voice became my proof that the divine still speaks through women like you. If this touched even one tender thread in your heart, tell me in the comments below, beloved, did you feel it too? What part of this confession echoed through your own soul? Your words matter here. Your silence is sacred, but your voice, just like hers, could save someone too. You know what's strange, baby? The more I listen, the more I realize it's not even about the words anymore. It's about the way you breathe between them. That soft exhale when you finish a sentence. The delicate tremble when you pause mid-thought. It's the little catches in your throat that tell me you were holding something back. And that's what drives me absolutely insane. Because your silence is never empty. It's always charged, alive, sacred. The silence in your voice speaks louder than most people's declarations of love. And I keep asking myself, why do I care this much? Why does it hurt so deeply? Why does a single piece of audio leave me lying awake at 2 a.m., like a man who's just seen God but can't touch him? Maybe it's because no one's voice ever made me feel like that before. Maybe it's because in that moment, I didn't just hear you, I felt you. Maybe it's because I wasn't just a man listening, I was a soul remembering. And now every time your voice echoes through my headphones, I'm not in my room anymore. I'm not even in this lifetime. I'm somewhere else entirely. Somewhere where souls touch before bodies do. Somewhere where time dissolves and only connection remains. Somewhere, I swear, I've met you before. Under stars we don't remember, and vows we haven't yet spoken aloud. I wonder, do you even know how magnetic your voice is? How it curls into a man's chest and makes a home there? You don't yell, you don't demand, you don't try to be noticed, and yet you linger, you stay. Long after the sound is gone, your voice keeps ringing in the air like smoke after fire. I hear it in the spaces between my thoughts, in the quiet moments when I reach for peace and end up finding only you. You could have said anything in that clip and I would have still felt this, because it wasn't just what you said, it was who you became in the saying of it. There's a version of you that only appears when you speak without thinking. When you let your guard down and forget to protect your softness, that's the version I fell in love with all over again. That version of you, the unguarded one. She doesn't know she's being worshipped. She just is, and that's what makes her so holy. And I swear, the deeper I go into this moment, the more my heart starts pulling back all the times I heard your voice without realizing I was falling. That time you laughed over something stupid and your voice cracked right at the peak. I still hear that sound when I'm alone. That moment when you whispered goodbye, not knowing it would echo louder than any "I love you." I've never stopped hearing it. Even now, I've started to wonder if this is what soul recognition sounds like. Not just butterflies, not just fire, but sound that rearranges you. Voice that realigns the bones in your chest. Words that don't just land in your ears, but sink into your bloodstream like a slow-moving prayer. And baby, that's what your voice is to me now. A prayer. A sacred, unrepeatable melody that I keep chasing at 2 a.m., hoping that maybe, if I replay it one more time, I'll finally hear the part of you I missed. The hidden tremble, the silent plea, in the quiet hope that someone, somewhere, was truly listening. Because I was. I still am. Sometimes I press play and just close my eyes. I let the world disappear. I let the day fall away. And I let your voice become the only thing that exists. Your tone washes over me like a soft tide, and for a few minutes, I forget everything that's ever hurt me, everything that's ever broken me, everything that's ever made me believe that love was out of reach. Because your voice, baby, your voice is the sound of something I still believe in. I can't help it. I analyze it like a madman. I study the rise and fall of your tone. I look for the hidden truths beneath each syllable. I search for the emotion you tried to hide. And every time I think I've heard all of it, something new appears. Like your voice is a sacred text that reveals itself only to the patient, only to the devoted, only to the ones who know how to listen with their soul. And God, I've never listened like this before. I've never needed a sound the way I need yours. I've never felt so undone by something as simple as a voice. But that's the thing, isn't it? It's never been simple with you. You've always been a symphony hiding inside silence, a storm wrapped in stillness. And your voice is the doorway to all of it. Every layer, every emotion, every dream you haven't said aloud yet. And baby, do you know what haunts me the most? It's not just that your voice made me feel. It's that it made me feel safe in a world that rarely does. For the first time in what feels like forever, I wasn't just a man. I was home. I was wrapped in something warmer than understanding. I was held, and you didn't even know you were doing it. That's what breaks me. That's what makes me curl into myself at night and whisper your name into the dark. Like it's the only spell that can save me from drowning in everything I'm not allowed to say. And what I'm not allowed to say is this. You healed something in me without even knowing it. Your voice didn't just echo through my ears. It stitched up the torn corners of my spirit. It reminded me that somewhere out there, love still sounds like this, still feels like this, still exists, not in grand gestures or perfect timing, but in quiet, unfiltered moments where someone speaks and someone listens, and both hearts change in the silence between. And I know I probably won't get to hear it again. I know life moves on, people move on, and maybe you'll never record something like that again. Maybe your voice will never tremble like that again. Maybe that moment was a one-time miracle, a sacred glitch in the universe meant only for me. But even if that's true, even if that voice note is the last piece of you I'll ever receive, it will be enough. It has to be, because it wasn't just a sound. It was a soul offering. And I caught it. I received it. I breathed it in. And I will carry it forever. There's a part of me now that's different. That's quieter, softer, deeper. And it speaks only in your tone. It remembers only your sound. It dreams in your frequency. And no matter where I go, what I do, who I become, there will always be a part of me still stuck at 2 a.m. Still listening, still aching, still alive in the echo of your voice. And if by some miracle you ever read this, if you ever wonder if anyone truly heard you, if you ever doubt that your words matter, let me say this as clearly as I can. I heard you, not just the parts you meant to say, but the ones you tried to swallow, the ones that slipped out in sighs, the ones you didn't know someone was aching to hear. I heard you, and I've never been the same since. So maybe this was never about lust, never about obsession. Me. This was just soul meeting soul in the quietest way possible. Maybe this was divine alignment, a celestial message. Maybe your voice wasn't just sound. It was prophecy. And baby, if it was, then know this. I will spend the rest of my life remembering the night the universe whispered through you, and I finally felt seen. If your heart is still trembling, if your breath has slowed and your soul feels like it was just held in silence, then beloved, this message was meant for you. You didn't find this video. Your spirit was guided here because the angels knew you needed to be reminded that someone, somewhere, still hears you, still holds you, still aches for the sound of you. So, before you go, pause, close your eyes for just a moment, breathe in the tenderness of this message, and allow your heart to receive this prayer. May the sound of your voice always find ears that recognize it as sacred. May the words you speak, intentionally or unknowingly, be received with reverence by those who are meant to cherish you. May the quietest parts of you be the ones most deeply heard. And may you never again feel unseen, unloved, or unheard in a world your soul was destined to soften. You, dear soul, are not alone in this depth. And if this message made your heart whisper, "I felt this too," then you already know this connection was divine. Type, "I felt it too," in the comments. If your spirit recognized this truth, type, "I hear you." If you've ever longed for someone to hear you, type, "Complete me." If someone's voice ever became your home, if this voice spoke what you couldn't say out loud, then don't let it fade into the silence. Subscribe now to keep this connection alive. Click the bell icon so you never miss the next soul confession. And if your heart whispered someone's name while listening, share this video with them. Let the message find its way. Let it heal what distance tried to bury, because love like this doesn't happen twice. And somewhere, someone is still replaying your voice at 2 a.m., hoping you'll speak again. This is your sign to stay close. This is your moment to feel heard. This is your reminder. Your voice was never just a sound. It was always a sacred invitation. Until we speak again, stay open, stay soft, stay divine. Tell me, beloved, has someone's voice ever held you this way? Have you ever heard something so soft, so unexpected, that your soul just stopped? Comment if your heart has ever remembered someone's voice like a song that never ends. Because if this message touched something in you, it wasn't by accident. You were meant to hear this, just like I was meant to hear you.